Hello, welcome back to Land Rover Restorations, where we are restoring our Series 1 Land Rover. Last time you saw us, we were waiting for bulkhead bits, we're waiting for other bits, but it's all turned up now. So happy days, I'll show you around. So, bulkhead parts, there we go. Top rail, which is this bit. Footwell, obviously, which is footwell. Footwell, have these little pieces here, over there, and this whole rear spine, which is this bit here, which is there. So all good, ready to start attacking that now. This axle's all back together now. We did it last time, we did the brakes and such like, all painted and finished, letting that go off. Chassis all keyed up now, ready to accept the new blue paint. Push some new bushes in the back, with some new bushes in. All round. So yeah, basically sort the bulkhead out, and then we can paint that blue, paint the chassis blue. Got the front axle to rebuild, which you know about anyway, still just waiting for the last few bits of that, and we can get on with that. So yeah, okay, I'll set you up and we'll do some welding, or grinding and welding. Okay, that was a bugger of a job, but the spine, I think they call it, is out. Had to take off its stand because it was just far too wobbly. So yeah, spine is out, which is basically the centre, that bit there, which is basically all your dash interior, you know, where you put you have your shelves and stuff. Well, there's it, if you can recognise it. Had to take a bit of a battering to get it out, but it is absolutely knackered. Don't look so bad on this side, but you can tell the other side's knackered. Plus, it gives us a good top for the footwells here and here. So basically what we're going to do now is clean this all up. I've got to take little bits off like this. Here we've got to take this off. This is still 2 layers here. The spine actually sits here. Here as well. This is 2 layers. This needs repairing. So get all this repaired, get all this cleaned up, get all this cleaned up, get all that cleaned up, get any repairs it needs doing, get it back on its stand, and then next time I have you here, we will put this spine back on and we'll weld it, spot weld it all the way through here, spot weld it here, that goes, and obviously then the new footwells come up against the spine. So I just want to do a bit at a time so I keep the shape. This is quite bad here, so I need to do a repair here before I put the spine back on, but it's not actually that bad. That is there, so it's just literally this little L here. I can cut this out here, put a little L piece in, and the same with that, so no worries. See that side, I think it's good actually, is it? Yeah, that side's pretty good. So, all good. I'll carry on getting it stripped, and then next time you join us, I'll hopefully be putting the spine in and welding it in. Okay, so spine is in. I presume that's what it's called, the spine. Spot welded it there. Spot welded it down there. So yeah, all good. Take them in the back. The top section is been cut off, ready for the new one. So yeah, here we are in the back. There's the spine. I've also had these 2 corner, what these panels are called, but put 2 new these in here. Got a tidy bit of weld to tidy up here. It's not the neatest, but I can get that. And same that end. As you can see, there's that corner bit. So what I've got to do now is I've spot welded this along here, so I need to go along and tidy this up along there, make that a bit neater, and then footwells. Okay. New footwells. I had to make these little bits on the end here. Obviously got to tidy all these welds up. What I'm going to do is, where they're not 100% perfect and there is the odd little hole in them, what I'm going to do is knock up some filler and go and fill all over the top of them and sand them back so they look good. I had to make this on the door pillar down here, what holds the door rubber. That was knackered, so I made a new one of them. Paired this down here. Just this very second started to put this top rail on. You centre bit. Go on the other side. There she is. Again, that's just obviously the original bit in the centre. Not much original left really, and that and the pillars. But so yeah, it's looking good. Final clean up. Sorry. Check for any other bits, and then I've just got to weld the dash bits in, which is obviously the side and all the dash bits, so I might leave that set up and you can watch us do that. Yeah, and then once she's all finally cleaned, get the workshop cleaned up, all the dust blown away, get it sprayed blue, let that go off, and then get the chassis sprayed blue, and then away we go. We start putting we've got to put all that back together yet. But I have all my bits turned up in that cardboard box over there. There's all the new swivels, etc., etc. So, okay. Okay, right, well last time we were filming we were still cleaning the bulkhead and getting it sorted, but it's done. It's all welded, it's all done. So now we're going to paint it. Thought you'd like to look at this. This is the 2-pack epoxy resin paint here. It's pretty cold tonight, but it's not too bad. We'll be okay. I don't think the cold affects us too much. So the bulkhead was a lot of work. I mean, a lot of work. I have been constantly welding, repairing, filling, sanding for the last fair few hours, fair few days even, but we're there. It's all done now, so okay. Oh, that's no good. So, let's stir this paint first. Single ready paint. That's the epoxy. Give that a good old stir. So this is the epoxy, and then the other one is the colouring. What's this? 2-part. Okay. That one's stirred. What I used for the old black paint was just an old saw blade that I had, so here we go again. This is blue. Okay. So, it's 2-pack 50/50. So obviously, it's 50 of one and 50 of the other, so we're only doing the bulkhead. When I did the chassis, I think it was around 500. So if I go 150, 150 of epoxy, keep a rag, 150 of epoxy, 150 of colour, takes it up to 300. So 300, 10% is 30, 20% is 60, so we need to thin it. 60 ml. The sprayer. Okay, there we have it. So if that's not enough, I'll have to mix it some more. And the mixing we go. I'll be glad when this bulkhead's finished, and then we can get on with rebuilding that front axle, and then the fun bit starts, because we can actually start putting it all back together again. Start putting the axles onto the chassis, etc, etc, etc. That's why you wear gloves. Yeah, quite a nice blue. Not sure if it's the same blue as it was, but who would ever know what the original blue was? Is the only problem, so this is going to have to do. Mixing of this is quite important, mixing this 2-pack together. Which I think it is. You get the gun. Let me fill that up. Okay, so we are ready to spray. We'll set you up over here. You can hopefully see what's going on. I don't really want to touch the camera with my blue gloves. Hopefully you can see the chassis from there, the bulkhead from there. A little practice spray first on the wall, just to make sure we've got the right pattern and everything we need. Put some breathing apparatus on. The gloves. Let me see if there's a better place for you. Oh, look at that, that's got to be the one, isn't it? Yes. So it's all been, I filled the odd bit here and there. It's all around here, and maybe on a couple of my welds it weren't 100%. I filled the little joints up here, so I'm hoping it's going to look alright. At the end of the day, if it doesn't, we can patch it up and fix it, but it should be okay. Okay. Okay, all sprayed. Happy days. I'll show you around it, and yeah, we'll have a look. Got it all. It looks pretty good. Just got to let it go off now. Let's have a look. The blue bulkhead, which looks a bit different to it did a little while ago, which is good. Obviously, all in here doesn't matter too much. This is all going to be behind the clocks and stuff, but. Right, all good. Okay, well, probably won't upload this one yet. What we do is we get this axle rebuilt, which I had to cover with my coat so it doesn't get blued. We get this axle rebuilt, which I'll film a little bit of it, putting the brakes back together and the swivels and all the rest of it. And then we'll upload this one. And then blue the chassis up, and let's start rebuilding. Okay, I thought I'd show you this bit. So, swivel for the front axle, that's the old swivel, as you can see, pitted, really bad, never get that back. Well, you get it re-chromed I suppose, but port replacement, swivel here. So the way you set these up is they're shimmed. This is just for people that obviously don't know, but hopefully most of you know if you're working on Land Rovers or whatever. So they're shimmed top and bottom. There's a bearing on the bottom and sort of a cone bearing on the bottom, and this sort of pin, if you like, pushes down and creates resistance. So for your steering, so your wheels aren't all floppy, so when you're driving down the road, you know, your steering's really, you've got some resistance in your steering. The way you set it up is you just shim it out with these different shims, 12 to 14 pounds resistance if I remember rightly. So I've shimmed it out now. I've just got some fishing scales I just put on here, pull it, gets to about 10-12 pounds until it starts to move. I mean, it's very agricultural if you like, basic, but that's why I like Land Rovers, a bit like me really, basic. So yeah, all good. So that's all shimmed out, all adjusted. So just fold these lockers over now. Well, I'll do that now. All nice and tight. Check that is tight. Yep. So they're all tight. Fold my lockers over. These are just stop those nuts coming undone. You don't want them coming undone. Shim top and bottom lockers on the top as well, or bottom, whichever way up this is. So that's it. See the new swivel there. So basically that area there is filled with swivel grease. So to keep the grease in place, we have a seal that goes around here. They always leak. See in my kit. So the seal just makes a nice seal around the swivel here. I'll get it over the top of there. It sits down in there nicely. Okay, and these bolts hold it in place. You should pull it down evenly then when I put it on. I've just tapped it with a hammer to get it started. Try and remember now what those three. I remember, yeah. So these notches here are for this bolt here, if you can see. I don't know if you can see, probably too far away, but it's very straightforward. Let's put these on. So when I have got, this is the steering stop, that's why I left that one in, because I wanted to remember which one the steering stop is. So when I've got this bolted on, this then fits onto the axle. We have a gasket on here, there's a rubber in the end of the axle which I'll replace, and then we get the other side done. So hopefully this makes sense. I'll just pick the camera up quickly so you can see a bit clearer. So there you go. Swivel, nice new seal, clamp this down. That's all your track rod end for your steering goes on here, and that goes over to the other side. So then your gasket goes on here, there's your internal bearing. I'll take it quickly over here, bolts onto here, and there's the seal. So I'll replace that seal in a minute, and then I'll put my gasket on, and I'll bolt that whole section on, and then we'll be, so yeah, gasket over here, all ready for what goes on next, the back plate for the brakes, and then the back plate goes on that. I'll show you that bit in a minute. Okay, so the axle is all finished now, we've got something dangling. Okay, so the axle is all finished now, as you can kind of see. Drums back on, shoes and everything in there, all new, gaskets ready. I had to actually replace this dry flange on the end because the teeth were a bit knackered and the half shaft was a bit knackered, so it's a new half shaft and dry flange. There's the new swivels, new gaskets, new seals, no oil in there yet. And there she is, new gaskets in here. And you see all there, nice new gaskets, swivels, etc. So there's all that, but the good news is that me and Alistair have literally just completed is the chassis. She is now blue. There's the finished bulkhead, we've seen that plenty of times. Literally just finished it. All drying. So let me whack you back over here for a minute.
Edit to here.
To here. Cool, so all done, chassis all done, axles all done, that's it now, we'll call that it for this video, probably only be a short video but better than nothing. And then the next video we will be axles, springs, everything onto the new chassis, which is going to be heavy old work because that's quite heavy, that axle. Get all that on the new chassis, get all its axle stands ready, and then engine, gearbox, back in, fuel tank, brake lines, so yeah, lots to do, but that's it for now. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video, even though it's a short one, but all good. Catch you next time.